Good morning, everyone. Rachel with Back to Good here. It's a bright and early morning. Today we have a couple goodies. We have some TOPTES detectors. We've got a carbon monoxide detector, and we've also got a combustible gas leak detector. This one here, they're both by TOPTES, and this one here is the CT580. And this is the PT520B. So today we're gonna go over these a little bit. We're gonna unbox them, gonna go over the instruction manual or the product manual, and check and see how that is. And we're gonna see what these things can do. TOPTES had reached out to us and wanted to know if we wanted to review their products, and I thought, well, how perfect. Yes, because you know, sometimes when you have a gas leak or carbon monoxide, it's not always in your house where your detectors are at. You could have it in your car, and we also have propane tanks on the outside of our camper that are in the cabinet where the inside detector is not going to detect that. So we're also going to be hooking up various other products like our propane water heater that we're going to be hooking up, and another diesel heater that we're going to be hooking up for the undercarriage. And when we move to our property, we're also going to be hooking up various other products. So I thought, you know, that would be great to have these detectors to make sure that we hook them up right, make sure that we have no leaks. Our camper is a 1998, so, you know, maybe some of our gas lines are old and maybe they need to be replaced. Who knows? So I thought this is going to be the perfect opportunity for us to make sure that our family is safe. So this is going to be a really great benefit to our family. So let's get into it and start opening these things and see what's inside. So first we're going to open the carbon monoxide detector, the CT580. Some of the stuff it says on the back, it has data storage, TFT LCD color display, power on self-test, 0 to 1,000 parts per million detection, 3 types of alarms, and height and low alarm thresholds. So let's get into it and check this thing out. First of all, it comes in a nice little box, and inside, very simple, has a very nice case for it. So we're going to set the box aside and open this thing up and see what's inside. Oh, it's got a very nice case. It's got this nice foam insert that it sits in, so clearly they want to keep this thing protected. So it's also got an instruction manual. Very nice. And then it also comes with a USB-C to USB-A rechargeable cord. So this unit is rechargeable, which is really great. We like these rechargeable products. We don't like the ones that you have to put batteries in. So this is going to be great. So it comes in a real nice case. So let's get this thing out. But first we're going to open up the user manual. We're going to check this out a little bit. So I think I'm going to bring you around here so you can see this. So let me go get you, and we're going to bring you around so you can see this thing close up and see the screens and everything. Alrighty, we're back. So we're going to go over this user manual for the CT580 Carbon Monoxide Detector. You want to check out the manual, kind of see what it's like, if it's readable and easy to understand. So first thing I noticed is they have some QR codes for their social media contacts, which is pretty cool. It comes in 6 different languages: English, German, French, Italian, Spanish. Oh, 5 languages. Thought I had a 6th one down there, but that's appendix. So it comes in 5 languages, which is really nice. It's got contents. We've got some specifications. So it brings in the sensor, alarm modes, audible alerts, visual alerts, audible warnings, range. It's got all kinds of good information there. It's got some product feature details here. Tells you what everything is. We've got a sensor. We've got a flashlight that's on the front of it, some indicator lights that go around it, got a backlit screen, a flashlight button, a left and right button, a function button, and a power button. And it's got the USB-C charging port down here and the audible buzzer alert on the back. So very easy. It's got some button functions, tells you how to work them, tells you the indicator lights. When they're green, the device is in a normal state and the gas concentration has not exceeded the alarm threshold. Yellow, the device is malfunctioning. And red, the gas concentration exceeds low or high alarm thresholds. So, tells you what a lot of the notification bar descriptions are for the little symbols. Talks about the charging, when it's charging, when it's not, what the symbols look like. Tells you when it'll charge faster if the machine's turned off. It tells you how to calibrate it. Some screen displays. Looks like it's got a donut graph and a bar graph, so you can use either screen and it'll tell you if it's reading what gas, so carbon monoxide, and it goes from 0 to 1,000 parts per million. So we'll get into checking that out when we open it up here, turn it on. It says a test, quick mute alarms, you can quick mute it, locating a leaking point, says parts per million, activating and deactivating the flashlight, turning it off. So in order to prevent this thing from accidentally turning it off, when you turn it off, you have to press and hold the power button and release it when the shutdown progress bar reaches 100%. So that way you don't accidentally turn it off. So you can't just accidentally hit the off button and it'll turn off, so and interrupt your readings. Here's a little bit about the menu. Talks about the event records, where it'll store the alarm records, failure records, and calibration records, and system records. So when you turn it on and off and things, it'll log all that, which is pretty cool. Some alarm settings. You got low value, high value, low backlash, and high backlash. Tells you what that all means. Tells you how to calibrate it and how to set the date and time. So we're going to have to go through all that. So far it all looks really nice and clear. Very legible, very understandable. Gives you great pictures to see what they're talking about. An advanced menu. The default password's 222. We're going to need to know that. So, gives you the sensor types, backup settings, and clearing the records. Talks about carbon monoxide. Here's a nice little chart here, the toxicity levels. Talks about 35 parts per million. You start to get a headache, dizziness within 6 to 8 hours of constant exposure, all the way up to 800 parts per million, which is dizziness, nausea, and convulsions within 45 minutes, insensible within 2 hours. So it's very important you check these things because we don't want to have any of that happen. So it's got user safety, operating humidity less than 95%, operating temperatures 14 to 131 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 10 to 55 degrees Celsius. So do not use in closed room with explosive gas mixtures. So, common sense solutions if something's not working. Cleaning, don't use any corrosive solvents or abrasive materials. Just use a soft, dampened cloth to wipe the lens or the sensor. And gives you some support. It says that it provides a 36-month after-sales service and lifetime technical support. So that's really great. And that's it. The rest of it goes into another language. So you've got 23. Well, it starts at page 3. So from 3 to 23 is the English. So not too bad. Very easy to read. Let's get into the machine here. And let's see if we can get this functioning here. So we got the power button down here. We're going to go ahead and hold it down. It's got a loading bar. Once it says the welcome screen, you can let go of the power button. And it's going to go through a setup here. Let me pull it in here so you can see it. It's going to start flashing and going through its testing for about 30 seconds here. All checks cleared. Sensor is warming up. Let it go through its setup here. And straight to the screen, to the donut graph here. And it looks very easy to read. So let's go through the menu a little bit. Press the function key to get the menu to come up, which is the button in the middle here. So let's see, hopefully you can see that. The top left one says Event Records. So we've never opened this or turned it on, so there's probably nothing in here. But you just hit the function key to select it. So we're going to look at Alarm Records, and there's nothing in there. And you push the power button to get back out of there. So let's go down. Okay, use the right key to move it down. And we got failure records, nothing in there. Back out of there. We're going to go down to calibration records. There's nothing in there. And let's go down to system records. So it looks like they've got some power on and power off options here that were done at the factory, probably for testing. So the dates are probably not correct because this would be mine entry here, but the date's not set yet, so the date's incorrect. So let's get back out of here. Push the power button to get it to go back. So now we're going to go check alarm settings. It's got your low setting, your low backlash, and your high setting and your high backlash. So we'll get into setting those, and basically it's your backlash will be like if you want it to the alarm to come on at, when it says 50 here, because that's what it says it's preset at. The parameters that it comes with is low 50 and high 200. So if you want your alarm to go off at 50 and you don't want it to stop until 45, until it gets down to 45, then you would set your backlash at 5. So and the same with the high, when you want your alarm to stop beeping. So we'll get into setting that later. We're going to leave it on the default parameters for now. So we're going to back out of there. Oh, what else do we got here? We got calibration, which could probably input the user password. Oops. I think the default is probably 1. Let's try that. Oh, if I could figure out how to do it here. Still learning the buttons. So 1. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Alright, calibration. We'll have to read a little bit about how to do that. I think it should be okay to, for the video's sake, but if you ever need to calibrate it, it should be pretty much calibrated when you get it. But system settings, we've got date and time. Let's go ahead and get in here. Geez, I'm not even sure what the date is today. November 17th. So let's get into the month. 11. Day 17. And then the hour, 7 minute, 37. Success. Okay, so you hold the function key down to get it to enter. That's where I couldn't figure out how to do it on the the calibration screen. So you got to hold the function key down to enter. So we had a success in setting our date. So let's go back. We have the correct date and time showing right up here on the top, which is great. I keep wanting to touch it like it's a touchscreen for my phone. So we've got display, we've got screen brightness, automatic sleep. You can set the sleep mode to 2 minutes or whatever percent you want it to. If you haven't used it for 2 minutes, then the screen brightness will decrease to 20% by default. So we're just going to leave it on the default settings for right now. Notifications, language, and factory reset, which we're not going to do any of that right now. So let's go back, see what else we got in here. Oops. Advanced menu. This is where we put in the 222 password. There we go. You got to hold the function key down to enter. So it's got sensor settings, sensor type, electrochemical, gas, CO2. I wonder if you decimal obit or 0 bit, and unit, parts per measure or parts per million. Low range, upper range, direction rise, alarm type, normal. It's got 0 fixed set to 5, and the 0 parts per million, ADC 0, ADC 930 for the number 1, and the number 2 is at ADC 0, and 3 is 0, so they don't use the 2 and the 3. So we've got, that's it for all the parameter settings. So let's go back. We're just going to leave all this on default for right now. And the information, it just tells a little bit about the device. So alright, so let's check into that. It's got some pretty easy settings once you figure out what the buttons are that activate stuff. So let's just get into there we go. Now we're at the donut screen. If you want to see the bar graph screen, push the right arrow here and it will switch to the bar graph screen. If you want to go back to the donut, hit the left button. So you can easily switch between the bar graphs and the donut menu. So we're going to calibrate this thing real quick. This is a calibration screen. Okay, you just push the function key and it starts doing the calibration. Okay, so we're inside now, guys, and we're going to check. This is the exhaust where our heat comes in at. And we're going to put the sensor up here and check and see if there's any carbon monoxide coming from this. We are showing 0 parts per million coming out, which is great. We don't want any carbon monoxide coming in to the camper, so I'm not getting anything. The heater is on. So we're not getting any kind of reading at all, even if I stick it down in the tube a little bit. So, all right, let's go outside. All right, so right now we're outside with our diesel heater, and we're gonna check the carbon monoxide coming out of the exhaust. So this one should be actually read pretty high, but this one is located outside, so we're not in any danger. So let's put this thing down here. Things good. We got it going up. And it's going up. So you can see that it is working. To go up into the red so you can see what it does. zone here. It's almost there. We'll leave it here a second. There we go. So as you go up, it goes, the audible sound goes faster and faster, and it blinks a faster red. Figure out how to work it. That's the bar graph. And we're back at the audible. Okay, let's go over here so we can get the alarm to go off here. And it's going down. The audible sound and the visual lights get slower as it goes down. Sorry, I know it's a little annoying, but I'm just going to leave the mute off so that you can see what it does as it decreases. But this is going to be really cool. So we're going to walk out here where we're in nice fresh air, getting it to come back down. And once it gets back down, it should, below the green, it should stop beeping below the 50, because that's what the threshold is set at. There you go. We're below 50 and the beeping has stopped. It's returning to normal. So this is going to be really exciting, because now we can just you know, we can know that when we're setting up new devices or new diesel heaters, we can make sure that none of the exhaust coming into the camper or under the camper is going to be getting any carbon monoxide. So when we were inside, where the heat comes out inside, we had a 0 reading, but the exhaust by the muffler, that went up to over 200. So it's very important, if you're camping, or in a semi or in a camper or a schoolie or whatever you're putting your diesel heater in, you're going to want to make sure that your muffler is outdoors. This little part here, you want to make sure that's outdoors, and you want to make sure that it's extended away from your tent or camper or whatnot. You don't want it to be really close to an open window or something, because that will be leaching in a lot of carbon monoxide. So we're gonna shut off the heater here. Okay, so we're back at the desk and we are back at 0, and this is gonna be a really good safety device. We're gonna put links in the description to these. It is an affiliate link, so we will get a commission if you click the link and purchase one. But a lot of these things are really expensive, and TOPTES, part of their mission was to make this affordable for everyone, because these are really top grade devices, but they don't cost the top dollar. So they're very affordable. They have a really nice case to put them in to keep them protected. We're gonna hold down the power button, and you can see, hold key to power off. There we go. Now it's powered off. It's safely in its case. We're going to put the instruction manual back in here, just in case in the future I forget how to calibrate it or something. We won't lose it. So that one is very cool. So we are going to enjoy being able to check and make sure that all of our devices are hooked up properly, that we have no carbon monoxide coming into our camper, and we're going to keep our family safe. So it's a huge relief to see that there was 0 parts per million coming in on the diesel heater. So hope that puts some minds to rest. It definitely puts mine to rest, so we have peace of mind knowing that we are not putting any carbon monoxide into our camper. So let's get on with the next part of the video. So the next product we have is a combustible gas leak detector, the PT520B, made by TOPTES. So let's open this package up and see what's going on in here. On this one it says easy to read screen, rechargeable, press to 0. You can measure in parts per million or percent LEL. You can measure in Celsius or Fahrenheit. It goes from 50 to 10,000 parts per million. We've got a low battery indicator, a 10-minute auto off, a visual and audible alert, and press to mute. So let's go ahead and check all this out. Let's open it up. And very nice again, it comes in a really nice case, which I really like that it does that because it'll keep it in good shape and keep it from getting damaged. So let's get this thing opened here. And again, we have the device here. Here, let's prop that up so you can see it. Got the device here. We've got an owner's user manual. And then we also have the cord. This one is USB-A to micro USB. As long as it's rechargeable, that's what I'm looking for. We don't want to be having to replace batteries and have batteries to make sure it works. We can easily plug it in and recharge it. So that's really great. I love that it's rechargeable. So let's see the user manual for the PT520B. Again, they've got their QR codes for their social media handy for you. Really nice. Let's read their little statement here. It says, TOPTES is a brand founded by a group of engineers and home safety experts with a mission to make homes safer and more comfortable for families. They noticed that many people were unaware of the potential dangers in their homes and that the tools to detect these issues were often too expensive or complicated for the average person to use. TOPTES aims to establish itself as the leading brand in home testing solutions, providing families with peace of mind and the confidence to make informed decisions about the environment in which they live. Their goal is to make a lasting impact on the lives of families and communities and to be remembered as a trusted and reliable source for home testing solutions. That's great. Thank you, TOPTES. Again, it comes in 5 languages, English, German, French, Italian, and Spanish. Got a contents warning. Please allow 30 seconds of warm-up time before the operation, otherwise it won't work properly. It's got a lot of specifications here. You can pause the screen and check it out. We've got some feature details. We've got the LCD description for all the symbols, symbol definitions and battery charging, low battery indication, turn on and off the calibration, testing, sensitivity selection. Locating a leak, resetting it to 0, turning it off. You have to press and hold the button for more than a second so you don't automatically or accidentally shut it off. It does have an automatic shutdown feature. It looks like you hold the sense button with the power on, and that way it shuts off the automatic shutdown function. So you can turn the automatic shutdown feature off if you want to leave it on. It does have some tips. You might want to read those over before you use it. Gets over to the unit conversion, explains what the parts per million and the percent LEL stand for. It gives you some of the basic common combustible gases and what their LEL values are, so you can get into checking that all out. Some user safety data, some maintenance, cleaning, again a 3-year warranty, and then we get into another language. So not too long of an instruction page here, 12 pages, and the first few are whatnot. So very simple, very easy to understand, really good manual. I like that. It's very easy to understand it. So let's get this thing out here. We've got the device itself. We got our sensitivity button, so you can change it from high sensitivity to low sensitivity, parts per million or percent LEL, so you can switch between. We've got a audio button and a Celsius Fahrenheit button and a 0 button and the power button. Got some little grips on the side. It's got your charging port, and it's got this nice long wand, so if you think you might have a leak behind your stove or something, you could easily bend this down and stick it down behind your stove. Or if you're checking in a tight location, you can, you know, put this wherever you want. So let's get this thing on here and we're going to test it out. So we're going to hold it on, Looks like we've got a weight timer here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Pardon the tractor noise in the background. We've got some work being done around here. It's never ending, so it's kind of hard to record in between. Alrighty, looks like the weight's about over and it's ready. So, I noticed in the book it says do not test it near open flame. So you can test it on like your gas stove range, but just do it with the gas turned on and don't ignite the flame. Or it says you can also use a lighter to test it or some other devices. So we're gonna do it with a candle lighter here. It does have fluid in it, so you can see there's fluid in it, but we're not gonna actually light it. We're just gonna let a little of the gas out here and see if it detects it. So here we are. We're going to just put this right here. We want to make sure it doesn't have a flame, which it does, so we're going to blow that out, and we're going to put this here. Let's see if we, oh yeah, there you go. See, it's detecting the butane from this candle lighter. Not sure if you can see that. Let me try to get it a little closer. Yeah, there you go, it's in the red. It's at 20. So, and as we pull it away from there, it starts to go down. The audible alert gets slower the lower the number gets. And we're in the green again. It goes back to 0. All right, we're fully back at 0. So that was really nice to know that that works. This is really nice. This is gonna come in really handy for when we install other devices in the future and we wanna make sure that we hooked them up right and that we don't have any gas leaks. So this is really gonna come in handy, and we appreciate TOPTES sending us these devices. They're gonna keep our family safe, and it's gonna give me peace of mind in knowing that we're doing things right. You know, when you're new at doing these DIY things and you're learning, it's always good to double check yourself. So it doesn't hurt, and I'm going to put a couple of links in the description for these devices so you can get one for your family. And again, pardon the tractor noise here, but it is what it is, so we're going to have to go with it. But yeah, so we've got the TOPTES combustible gas leak detector, the PT520B Plus, and the carbon monoxide detector, the CT580. Both of these devices are rechargeable. They're very handy. You can use them in your home, in your car, at the shop, at work, wherever your needs may be. You might not always have a carbon monoxide detector or a leak detector elsewhere besides your house, so it's really important that we keep our family safe. It has a lot of really nice features, even for somebody that doesn't know about these devices. They're very easy to read, very easy to understand the directions, and we really appreciate TOPTES sending these devices. So I hope you have a great day, and if you need one of these for your family, or maybe even somebody you know, Christmas is coming up, so maybe look into these and see. We'll put a link in the description, see if that's right for you. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, TOPTES.